Hey all, it's David Ducker coming back at you, and today I'm going to be doing monster ecology tarasques. Tarasque is a very interesting mythical or legendary animal that we use a lot of in our games, in our campaigns. And basically we use it as a crocodile in that it's an underwater ambush predator. It preys from the river, preys on creatures coming to drink at the banks or cross over or fjord or ford the river. So a tarasque, of course, as the legend goes, has the body of a tortoise, the legs of a bear, the head of a lion, and the tail of a scorpion. And like I said, we just use it as a crocodile. It's an enormous turtle that that generally has some moss on its back, so it can resemble kind of a muddy hill rising just out of the water, which allows it to leap forward and bite, claw, sting its prey on the banks, whether that's a stag or a bear or a villager coming to fill up a water bucket. So it's a very dangerous animal, but it's also great plot point, not only fighting them, catching them, which can be a lot of fun, that river encounter, swimming, or trying to lure it out of the water, but dealing with its poison. And once you kill it, you can use its shell to make various objects, whether that's a tarasque shell shield, or whether you get some kind of esoteric armor that a druid could wear, perhaps, a shaman, a beast mage. But also getting that sting, which you could turn into a weapon. We've used them as daggers in our campaign, daggers which are easily envenomed, or just get that poison gland and sell that, or coat a weapon in poison, or slip it in someone's drink, because it can't be good to drink. Or even for the male tarasques, get that mane, that lion's mane that they grow. That can be very valuable kind of pelt. Whether it's just a decoration or whether you use it to make clothing or whatever it is. And of course, I'm sure you could come up with a magical component for that pelt as well. The mane of a tarasque is a necessary ingredient in creating the breathe underwater spell, perhaps, or potion, or poultice. So you get the great ambush predator. It jumps out of the water, runs forward, roaring like a lion, trying to bite you so that its tail can come around and sting you to death. Drag you back into the water, perhaps still alive. Perhaps the stinger tail can't get through your armor, but it can sure drag you back into the water to drown you. It might not even be able to eat you because it can't get through the armor, but it doesn't know that because it's a dumb animal. So a lot of great river encounters or swamp encounters you can do with them. What we primarily use them for, however, is as a riverboat encounter, because they have learned in our setting that if they come up under a ship, so your ship is sailing along the river, and it comes up, it can either tip you over, or if it comes up and then down, it can tip you the other way. So they can be quite dangerous in capsizing river boats. And once the boat is capsized, people fall in the water, and you get a feeding frenzy of many, many tarasques, perhaps, coming to feed on these poor individuals who may or may not be able to swim. So the tarasque, it's not something I see used very often for some reason, but we use it quite a bit. We have, even if you don't see it, you'll deal with people who have the poison, or who have the dagger made from a tarasque sting, or people who have that tarasque shell shield, or people who have the tarasque shell breastplate. So even if you don't see the animal itself, those byproducts you might see, or tarasque eggs, because they're basically turtles in our setting. So they do lay eggs. So, and those eggs could be delicious. Who knows? Or they could be components for a spell. Or you could try to have a pet tarasque, and you just cut its sting off, and maybe you can domesticate it somehow. Although they are amphibious, but maybe the bullywugs in the swamp, the frog people, have domesticated the tarasques, and they use them as mounts, or guard animals, or hunting animals. So there's a whole lot that you can do with a tarasque, and I don't see them used enough. We've got a lot of mileage out of them, being the the cold climate crocodile. Area is too cold to have crocs. You throw in the tarasque, and you've got a lot of fun going on right there. So I thought I'd share that with y'all. Let me know how you use tarasques in your game, if you do. Let me know, what you think of the legend of the tarasque, because it's one that's often understated or not used properly, but it's a very, very good story, old Christian story. But I'm going to sign out right now. Hope everybody has a good day. Cheers.